And welcome everybody to Locked On Lads TV. I am Peter Wilco Wilkinson, and I'm just bringing my mic down to a good level. There you go. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. That is the main thing we're celebrating tonight. Hope you all got a My Private Seller from the major sponsor here. That's what every father really wants for Father's Day. I am also joined by Ryan Barber. How you going, mate?
Hey, Wilco, pretty good. Talladega Speedway, Super Speedway, this round, so that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the racing here tonight.
What could go wrong? Everything can go wrong tonight. Apparently, the qualifying has been done. I do have a grid for you all, but it's not accurate because things have happened and the surf wasn't set up right. So let's go through the championship table. We've got 16 seconds to go till we go live. I'll put up this and I'll hide that, and you can just see who's got the pace out there right now on the grid. But let's go to Aaron Dillon. Let's have a bit of a run around with him. No, he's facing the wrong direction. Anyway, the championship at the moment, Troy Davison leads by 50 points over Raymond Yeager as the Sim Boys celebrate the end of practice in style. 1 point further back from Raymond Yeager is Justin Witcher. Craig Roffey is 13 points further back. Sean Hart is another 68 further back. So the top four are really out in front. Equal with Sean Hart is Todd Maxfield in fifth there. Ruben Phelps is 16 points further back. Aiden Schultz is 12 points further back. Brad Fenley is 7 points further back. And Adam Malone is 12 points further back. And that rounds out your top 10 in the championship thus far. If we just quickly, before we get into this grid, we will look at the Teams Championship. Pinnacle Esports Racing 879 over Simboys 837, and then a fair bit back to Middle Split Racing on 687, but very close to Southern Stars Esports on 624, and within striking distance of that top three, Momentum Sim Racing and then Skypoint Racing as well. Code 9 is sitting around there as well, Southern Cross Racing at the back there as well, but that is the current championship table. We have a grid that looks like this for some reason. Tim Blundell, Ruben Phelps, Matt Dyer, Raymond Yeager. By the way, can I mention here, we're back to 43 cars in the field. How good is this? But we have got about a minute before we go green here, so I'll get through this. Raymond Yeager, Jamie Nankervis, Andy Barber, Jay Schultz, Troy Davison, Gary Wellman, Stuart Anderson, Wade Sheedy, Tom Pritchard, Peter Jones in 13th, Adam Malone 14th, Nigel Patton 15th, Evan Horsewell in 16th, Justin Witcher back in 17th, Michael Berta in 18th, Aiden Schultz 19th, Craig Roppy 20th, Colin Findlane in 21st, Christopher Tomlin in 22nd, Sebastian Vardell in 23rd, Kay Donnelly in 24th, Dwayne Priest in 25th, Nicholas Walsh in 26th. The list goes on. It's not going to matter. It's Talladega, Ryan. Come on. What does the qualifying matter? Let's have a look at this grid. You can see these V8 stretching way back. What is your experience with Talladega before we go green?
Well, naturally, Super Speedway, quite high speed cars are at pretty much at top speed constantly. A lot of bump drafting cars, nose to tail, and it's quite a big team race tonight. Scrambled grid. Of course, the qualifying thing didn't really work out. Had some issues, and they're all scrambled for the start. So all the teams, Pinnacle Esports, Southern Stars, Sim Boys, all those teams will be looking at finding each other and really working together to be able to really bring the pace this year, this race.
We're round 16. Yeah. Can you believe it? We are almost there. I'm trying to find the blimp. Where's the blimp on my thing? Oh, there it is. Blimp. Look how far up we are. That's not the blimp. That's the blimp. They're right over the back there. They're coming into sort of the exit for 4. We are about to go green. What is Ruben Phelps and Tim Blundell going to do on the line? Tim Blundell has the control. We get around the kink that is Talladega. What a special place for oval racing. This is a place that everyone wants to turn up. You can see why. We have 43 cars here tonight. This is going to be an impressive race. Look out for anyone's chance to win. You can see there, Tim Blundell takes the field off and racing. Ruben Phelps tries to go with him. Matt Dyer, though, is out there in front. This lead from Tim Blundell is not going to make a huge amount of difference. It is going to all bunch up. The thing you've got to worry about tonight is staying with this field. You do not want to get off the draft pack, and you do not want to get damage to your aero, and just hang around. We've got 80 laps of Talladega tonight. Be there at the end. That is your ticket.
Yeah, that's right. And on your bottom right, we do see the speed of the cars. Look, 295 kilometres an hour. They're sitting there pretty well. 3 wide at the moment. We have Jai Schultz up the top there trying to make a move. Roman Jakes in the middle. And then Tim Blundell is down the bottom. We're going to see everyone scrambling to find each other now. But look, we already have multiple different lanes starting to take place here. Quite a few cars down the bottom. Some cars jumping into the middle, and then we see
run from middle split racing there. That's what you Craig Robbie comes 10 positions in one corner out to the lead. Look at that run, Ryan. This is what you're going to see tonight. The drafting is immense. You can see Ruben Phelps there getting out. He doesn't want any part of the top here, but it's all about positioning. Look at that, actually using brakes there at the moment, but they're all trying to get in that line. It's all about lines. We've got a caution. That's why there's brakes happening. Stevie Hopper's way off the field. Oh, this is where it is. We found it. Don't worry, we found it. I need a little warning in my ear when there's a caution, Ryan. What's going on here? How come we didn't see something?
No, sure, but lap 2, we've had our first caution here tonight. We are on board with Peter Gredden. We're having a look at the front there. There you go, Carnage. You can see they're really on the anchors there trying to get down. We see cars flipping left, right and centre. That would be at least 10 cars that would be pretty severely damaged out of this one. So that's not something that you would want to see being this early into the race.
Have a look. So we've got already Aaron Dillon here has damage. Remember, no fast repairs in this thing. You can see here, that is where it all happens. We're going to go on board with the 222 there of Sharp, one of our championship hopefuls here right now. Let's go on board. Let's go full speed. He just gets sandwiched. He becomes a pinball machine, and cars go flying all over the place. That's the big one's happened already. That's a Simboys car in front there. That's bad news for Simboys Racing. Let's go back and have a look at the chopper angle at that and find out who else has been hurt and injured in this incident. You can see there the 023. No, not the 023. That's the last thing he needed tonight. Where are we? Let's go on board. Wow, that's good. It's Troy Davison right there. That's what I'm looking for. Troy Davison, the championship leader.
Here we go. We see Troy Davison there, just down the bottom line here.
Well, no. So who's the 81811? Smith.
Not too sure, but have a look here. We have a couple cars there, 3 wide, 2 wide. We see those 2 cars get together, and then Troy gets tagged from the back. That sends him a bit sideways through there, so he's starting to point towards the wall. It's a bit of a secondary contact, and echo's made, and then, yeah, looks like he's got involved in an incident that he really did not need. But he has a pretty fair cushion at the moment, 50 points in the championship. He'll be hoping that can cover the damages, but doesn't look too bad from out of this one.
You see back there, Kim Roffey took the full brunt of Sean Hart's rear end there. The 16 of the Simboys, there's about 3 or 4 Simboys that have been. That's Toddy Maxfield. That's another championship hopeful. Let's go on board with him. This is the Simboys and their rush for the championship at the end of the season here. We've still got a fair way to go, but it took a big hit here. Have a look here. So we've got, let's go sort of on the nose, and let's have a look here. See it all happening. He's got nowhere to go, and then just gets flipped. And that is, look, it's probably the end of his race.
No doubt.
He's gone, but that's a big incident. So let's go. The big one's happened at Talladega. Yes, Kobe is saying hashtag just Speedway things. That is fairly true. So let's go live. These cars are in the pits. Let's go up to Craig Roffey, who's got the lead. Pace car is out. We have still got a lap to go. These cars are still coming together, but let's have a look at what the result for that is right now. We have Brett Campbell is out of the session. Stevie Hall, welcome back. 2 laps down, unfortunately, right now, still in the pits. Kim Roffey still in the pits right now, 1 lap down. Warwick Sharp still in the pits, 1 lap down. Aaron Dillon in the pits, 1 lap down. Toddy Maxfield's in the pits. Nick Smith is in the pits. Troy Davison in the pits. Michael Berta spent 1 minute and 4 seconds in the pits, so he has problems. Peter Jones. Oh, no, Peter Jones. He had a little bit longer in the pits than most others. But other than that, there is a whole heap of cars that have come in. There's a whole heap of cars that haven't. So the top 12 cars have not come in. Ash Nessa hasn't come in. Noddy Tompkins, Philip Howe, and Peter Gretton have all not come in. All the rest have come in to do a little bit of splash of fuel. As we see them line up to go 1 more lap around, Brett Campbell, gear malfunction due to a massive checkup at the start and breaking my pedal box. Wow. Great start to the night. That is why Brett Campbell is out of the session. That is hard luck, mate. Bad luck on that one. I need to get a little closer to my mic, and I need to get this game volume up just a little bit, I think. Just there, so we can hear these cars a little bit better on the stream. But, Brian, I've been talking over you too much. Give us your impressions of the first 5 laps of Talladega so far.
Well, super speedways always bring pretty big crashes, so it's no doubt that we saw a bit of a incident earlier on in the race, but yeah, that's taken quite a lot of, a few sim boys out of the race, out of contention already. Troy Davison, the championship leader, 50 points away from second place Raymond Yeager. So he's out on track at the moment. He'll be trying to gather as much points as he can. That's a pretty hurt supercar there. He's missing the rear wing, so it looks like he's stuck on the low downforce setup that we were seeing last round. But yeah, super speedways actually brings out quite big crashes, and yeah, in my opinion, that crash probably wasn't the big one here tonight. We probably will see something much bigger.
Yeah, definitely. We've got As a Brian in YouTube, couldn't make it tonight. He's hoping see the code Night Boys, Gilles and Nessa have good results. Hopefully they do too. I just wanted to focus on Troy Davison there. That's a big story for tonight. 34th position right now. He's only 3 seconds off the lead, so he's made the lead pack. However, he needs to hang on to this pack. He needs to not drop too far, especially if Yeager and Witcher can get up the front of this field as pace car drops down. We've got a little bit of way to go yet, but with green flag racing very, very soon. But yeah, he needs to hold on to this pack. It'll be interesting to see if he's got any damage for his engine. He can't get the top speed, or the aero is just not good enough. But we will see how he goes. He's a good driver. He'll bounce back somehow. If not, he'll do a good effort anyway. As Craig Roffey's holding them up, he's in the start zone and he drops it. Craig is off. We've got Jai Schultz on his outside. Wade Cheaty in there as well. Looking really good in his nice red and black livery, but Craig Roffey's done it again. He's got some great speed and he's out in front. We've got a couple of cars left out to dry there, but Jai Schultz wants this lead. He's been wanting it all night. He's happy to go to high line. And Wade Cheaty's happy to push him along. This is a very, very good start from these two. You can see the bump drafting, the best angle we've had of it all night there, as Wade Cheaty's just pushing him in front. That's what you need. Craig Roffey's going backwards because he just does not have that support. No one to get up on his rear and push him along. There you go. Jai Schultz gets the front lane, so the low lane, and gets in front. Now Craig will be here to push him along and hopefully not cause too many problems. You can see the Pinnacle Esports of Raymond Yeager and Witcher are doing the same, but they're further back there. They're trying to get that third line happening. We'll see multiple. You can run pretty much 3 lines here quite easily, quite safe all night. Just to see whether the field wants to do that. Let me have a look quickly. Troy Davison has lost the pack. His car is not going quick enough at the moment. That will hurt. You can see his top speed there, 280. Let's go back up the front for Matt Dyer. His top speed 294. That's a big difference. You can see, look at Pinnacle make the move around the outside there. They push up to the front. Raymond Yeager gets the lead of this race, which is extremely important. If he can get that bonus point, that's just one more point that he can rub into the wounds of Troy Davison here tonight. You can see they'll definitely try and swap around the lead so they both get it. As we come across the final corner, the final kink into the start-finish line, and it is Wade Sheedy at the moment. Wade Sheedy's going to hold it, so they did not get that point. You can see this. The other important thing about tonight is the runs that you're going to need. You need to time your run perfectly if you want to be at front at the start-finish line at the end of this race. 3 rides, Sim Boys running up top there. That's the all-important Sim Boys that are left. There's probably 1 or 2 more through the field, but that is Cade Donnelly, Gary Wellman, and Wayne Priest.
Yeah, that's
purple car.
Not too sure, but this race will definitely be determined by who can really work together. We see teams like Pinnacle Esports together. We have some of the Sim Boys up the top on the high line. They're trying to work together. Southern Stars are together. They will be working together also. Smaller teams of 2 cars, they will be working together. So it is a big team game for the Super Speedway. And last season, remember Wilco, the championship came down to Talladega. We were 4 wide in the last few laps, and that's where Andy Barber actually lost the championship during that race, right at the end, right on the green white checker. But what we're going to see here tonight, are we going to go
5 wide at the finish? I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, but 4 wide, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that at the end of the race. And naturally in super speedways, when everyone's really trying to get to that finish line first, they will make the room to do so. But at the moment, Wade Sheedy out in the lead. We have Gilles, he's in second place, he's just taken first, so they're all side by side, 3 wide for the first few rows of cars. Pinnacle Esports down the bottom, we have the Sim Boys up the top. Especially right now, just sitting there behind Raymond Diego, we'll be hoping to see a little bit of his draft as well. Some pretty big names up the front there. Team game to play. No tie. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no tyre stops this race. It's all going to be dependent on fuel. And what I will say, Wade Sheedy and Gilles, them both really punch in the air at the front there. They won't want to be there for long because when you're punching the hole in the air, you'll be using a lot more fuel than the other people.
Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be a tyre race at all tonight, but that little bit of extra rubber might help you get through the field at some stage if you do. If you are at the back, you can see that's the 131 of Stevie Hopper getting a little bit high there, almost into one of the Sim Boys cars. But yeah, it's all about track position tonight, using the draft. Tyres does not really matter at all. It's going to be the fuel. Once people get fuel to the end, that's the last time you'll see them stop. We assume there'll be more cautions, so stopping under green's probably not going to be an issue, but we'll see how we go at the front there. At the end of the race there, sorry. The car, I'm just trying to get the code 9 car of Alan Gilles. As O'Brien, he's doing a great job there. He's got the lead of the race over Wade Sheedy by millimetres. You can see though, Cade Donnelly's trying to get down the outside there. He's trying to do a repeat of last week and get another win, but Gary Wellman is just, this is why. Hot Toddy's got to get around the outside of this field without causing any more problems. So at Talladega, you're always best if you're the lap car to stay high, but that means that third line gets very cramped very quickly, and that's when accidents happen again. The Sim Boys have done a great job though to get past, and Gary Williams back on the back of Cade Donnelly to push him up. You see Stevie Hoppert's getting very wobbly in there. That is a concern. I wouldn't want him in middle lane if I was Gary Wellman or Dwayne Priest there. But yeah, he's a little bit wobbly there. It's multiple times. You can see, look at this push. The push there from Matt Dyer to get Alan Gilles up front there. And Alan, will he drop down and take the low line? I think he will here. Which now gets, Stevie Hopper's got to get up there and help. And these Sim Boys just aren't close enough at the moment. They need to be really nose to tail here. You can see there in the background the pinnacle of Nigel Patton leading the other 2 pinnacle cars. But quick recap of what's happened here. Troy Davidson's about to be lapped. His lap times are 56.2 seconds a lap. The leaders are on 51 seconds a lap. So you can see there how much the draft hurts not being in that drafted lap times. Just going back there, the 87, LR Esports. No, it's an 87 on top. It's actually 831. Peter Gretton doing a good job up front, getting up close there to That looks like
Philip
Philip
Howe.
Howe. Philip Howe, of course it is. I should recognise those colours. Let's go on board with Peter Gretton, though. Let's have a look from his wing. Let's have a look behind here. Look how much that bottom line is stretched out. This is where these guys at the back there, all they're doing is nose to tail. They just want to hang on to that draft. They're still in the race. All those cars are only 5 seconds off the lead. Peter Jones is at the tail end of that crew. They're safe. At this stage, with the track strung out as much as it is, they should be safe. The problem was mid-pack was all squashed up before, and that's what caused the big accident, because there was just nowhere for any of them to go. Let's have a look at the front of Peter Gretton. This front mob really want the lead there. You can see how wobbly it is, how hard it is to stay in that draft in a V8 supercars at this speed. It's very dirty air everywhere you look, and you can see that's Matson, Peter Matson on the outside. Oh, we're on board with Philip Howe, sorry. Philip Howe. Wasn't Peter Gretton. Peter Gretton's still inside there. Philip Howe doing a great job coming through the middle here. They're 4 wide at the front. Got a perfect view of this front pack. And that would be Peter Gretton now in the lead of this race as he gets around the front. Let's go back to some chopper action and see what's happening. Look at this pack. These guys are battling it out. They want to be at the front. They don't want any problems at all.
Yeah, there we go. Peter Gretton over the apron and he's pushing back. Strategy call there. Looks like he just wanted to steal the bonus point and dip. That's something that we will have here. Bonus points are in play after the race. So fastest lap, leading lap, and all that kind of stuff. You gain a bonus point at the end for your championship standing, so that might be something that Peter was going for. He's just moving to the back. Some strategy things to play here tonight. Super Speedway racing, we can see that now. No tyres will be in play. Maybe later on in the race they might take one set of tyres if the car's getting a bit too loose. But apart from that, big tyre game here tonight, and big team game also. We may see quite a couple of drivers sitting right at the back also. They'll be trying to stay out of all the dramas. We could have a big crash at the front, and then they'll be able to dodge, and then they'll be able to gain quite a few spots from there. Or the front pack may be a bit safer in my opinion. Clean up the front, safer than being at the back. But you know what, lap 16 out of 80, we're not even a quarter of the way through. Sebastian Vindel, we see they're getting pushed up the front there too. He's taking the lead as well. He's getting a push from Wade Schutte and Jai Schultz, and they're doing a pretty good job. But still two lanes of racing here, nearly going 3 wide again. And how good is this racing so far? Everyone's well behaved apart from the incident we had on lap 2. And it looks like the Super Speedway is providing us with some pretty good racing.
Yeah, look, it's been very good racing so far. Well, we've had the one incident, which Talladega is known for. It was always going to happen. We've got some different names up the front, which is something that Talladega is known for. You can see the Momentum eSports cars getting in there. You saw Ruben Phelps out the front. He dropped back out. He's now got Jamie Nankervis is coming back up the front now. It's interesting. I wonder if all those Sim boys got their bonus point and then they've pulled out and they've just decided it's safer to go back. But they are the gap, the glue that's holding the front and the second pack together. If they're not in there, Pinnacle then drops off. But at the moment, they're there. You can see Troy Davidson's coming up to lose his first lap. The smoke's coming out of a car there, which made it a little bit hazardous for a second there. But we've got Vindel in front. Gilles coming around the outside there. Matson's got to get in. There he does. That means the third line's fine. There's no third line, so Troy Davidson safely goes down a lap there. He will try his best to hang on to this pack there, as Sebastian just pulls down low. He wants no part of it. He's got his bonus point. He's going back in the pack here. Jai Schultz, though, he's all about the lead of this race there. But yeah, Troy Davison will try and pull in here soon and try and hold the lead, but I just don't think his engine has enough power to grab this pack, although he's doing a pretty good job there at the moment. He's mid-pack there at the moment. He might hold on to it. You can see Jai Schultz here doesn't want Gilles' help. Look at this run that is the 830 of Christopher Tomlin getting. What a run he's getting. Once he gets side draft, front draft, momentum, and then just jumps onto the pack easily. gets to the front of this race, you can see how important that last lap, the timing of that last lap is going to be. If you can get the run, you can come from 10th or 11th up to first in a matter of a corner. If you get it wrong and you get there too early, you'll get swamped on the line. As you can see, Tomlin now is the same speed as everyone else, and if not, going a little bit backwards because Matson's not in there helping him. He's staying that high line, and Phillip Howe is too far back. But you can see here a bit of a move from the Sim boys. They're coming up to make it too wide. You can see how much more it is 2 lanes now, where before it was only, once you got past that top 10, it's back down to 1 lane, but they've definitely started bunching up yet again, which is an interesting call. Christopher Tomlin's going to be in a problem here, though, because we've got traffic. He's going to have to get around the front here if that car in front ends up going through the field there. Otherwise, it's going to be very squishy very quickly. Ooh, 1/4 race distance already. What is going to happen here, Ryan?
Not too sure. We have our front pack there. We have, 10, 20 odd cars at the front there. They're all 2 and 3 wide. And then just going down the field also, we have quite a lot of cars just sitting down the bottom, just being patient, working together. We'll have Southern Stars and SkyPoint Racing. They are sister teams. They'll be in the same Discord. They'll all be working together as if they are all in the same team. So watch out for them. Being a part of their team, I know that they'll be using quite a lot of strategy to be patient to get up to the front towards the end of the race. Whereas we do have a couple teams like Platinum who's sitting first and fourth at the moment. They are opting to run right up the front there, but different strategies for different teams. I said earlier, it's a team race. If you don't have a buddy to help you out, then you won't go anywhere in this race.
That's it. You really want to be working with the pack. You can see we're on top of Peter Jones's car, having a look forward there, how strung out this field still is. But realistically, like, these guys are only running 292, 291, so they're definitely not running as fast as the front group. I don't know where this smoke is. There's smoke coming out right now. Oh, it's the smoke coming out of the car in the pits. That's what it is. There's a blown engine in the pits that someone's still sitting in there, and it's got smoke flying out everywhere. But look at this. All of a sudden, Peter Jones is up to 313, 310. He's got to slow down because he doesn't want to go any faster. He could easily jump this field in a lap or two. He just keeps on pulling out of it. But that's how far this race currently spreads out. And yeah, it's just looking really good. We've got lots of stuff that's going to play out here as we go into turns 3, 4. Let's have a look at entry to 3. Let's have a look at the 4 exit as they come around the back here. You'll get a good look here of how the field is spread out. Peter Jones is the back of that crew. So Shannon Blackburn and Noddy Tompkins are the ones that are about to get lapped. So let's go back up the front and just keep an eye on that. That's a Roffey coming out of the pits there. Peter Gretton is in the pits. That's
Looks
interesting.
Yeah, Peter, no damage. He's the second car in the pits at the moment. Looks like he's coming in for a stop.
Stops. No, he's on the way out. He's already stopped. That's an interesting.
Yeah, looks like he's better back out in track. He's a lap down now, so that indicates to me that he may have jumped up into the jacks and taken some fuel.
Yeah.
Never know what's going to happen. We did have the first caution. A few people did pit. That Pete did opt to stay
about
out.
to go in too.
Yeah, so it looks like we're starting to have our fuel come into play now. Lap 23, just over a quarter.
No, he's not going in.
No.
He's just pulled down. He's had his time up front. He's got his bonus point. He's down the back of the field. He doesn't want to be any part of this. I just saw him flying down the field. On a completely different strategy, Jai Schultz and Wayne Sheedy and Alan Gill are happy to lead this race and not be anything else but at the front of this pack. So it's clear to see there's very different drivers involved in this race. It's fair to say, Ryan, there's ones that don't mind being on the edge and being at the front, and then the others that just clearly want to be there at the end, and that's all they want to be, because you've seen Talladega, you've seen Daytona. The winner very rarely is the car leading the lap at the last race, and even sometimes in the top 3. So look at this go. Gary Wellman's made his way to the front there. Sim boys are back out in action there. Whoa, that's a big move from the 835 of Matt Dwyer going from top lane to bottom lane across the middle lane and then back up to middle lane. But it's all nice and quiet. Nothing going wrong at the moment. This is what we like to see, Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Clean racing. Australasian Supercar eSeries. If you want to check them out, I'm sure that we will have some sort of links to help you out getting involved in this. But how good's the race? And you can see how clean it is too. We did have the incident earlier on in the race, but apart from that, we, 3 wide at the moment. We have one. Not sure who's up the top there, but he's trying to make moves as well. So 3 wide, 2 wide, single wide. We're all seeing different kind of formations from different people, teams working together, single drivers working with other people. A lot of things going on, a lot of strategies will be in play, and we will only really see the outcome of this towards the end of the race, where we have our 5 lap to go kind of time towards the end of the race, because that's where the strategy always works out, and that's where they really try and apply the strategy to try and seal the win.
While we've got this bit of a quiet patch, let's talk about the sponsors. My Private Seller, we said at the front. Hopefully you had a good Father's Day and you're installing a My Private Seller into your house. Thanks to My Private Seller. Go check them out. They're a great sponsor for this series and very much a big reason of why it can come to you each and every week. Obviously, Locked On Lads TV brings it to you every week till the end of the season. Thank you for supporting us and helping us out through this big venture that we've had with Australasian Supercars eSeries. United Electrical Solutions. Go support the people who support you through Hot Toddy's heating installs, especially after the night that Toddy's had. We want to go support him as much as you can. Even if you just click on the website, all helps as Philip Howe gets up to Mats and Matson's in the wall. No damage there. Dwayne Priest there gets right out of the way. He doesn't want any part of it. I just wonder if Matson's got any damage there. He's definitely lost momentum. But I can't get that angle on the other side of his car there to see if there's any damage. But he seems like he's holding on okay. The Sim Racing Edge setup shop is the other place that does bring this all to you as well. Pagnian Advanced Simulations, which I'm sure a lot of people in this field have probably gone through them to get their gear. And also Witcher Electrics is a big sponsor for this series as well. Thank you everyone who helps bring this series to us. That was almost a big accident, Ryan, but that would have been big repercussions through the field too, because that was at the front of the pack. That's where we definitely don't want an accident to happen, because it will ricochet through the field. You can see that Craig Roffey was up the front early on in the race. He's now happily dropped down to 27th position, just sitting behind the Sky Point Racing there, and he's happily doing his laps. He knows he's got the pace, and he knows he can move quickly through the field. We'll get back up at the end of the race, but Craig Roffey, we had him in the booth last week, had a great season, first season in, and playing the strategy card, which is really good to see. But back up the front here, Guy Schultz wants to lead as many laps in this race as he can. He's doing a great job of it. I just wonder if it's going to hurt him on the pit stops, Ryan. Will he have to? He'll have to obviously put in more fuel than everyone else. It will cost him track position at the worst possible time. Is that something that maybe he should be thinking about?
Yeah, Jai and Wade, Platinum Racing, they always have their strategies kind of sorted out before the race, so they'll always do their best to just hang at the front and really try and be there at the end. But we do see other drivers down the back, Sky Point Racing sitting down there waiting for the end. It's a game of, are you going to be patient or are you going to push up the front? And it seems like Platinum's opting to be right up the front.
He's going to be leading this race. He's going to get a bonus point here. Oh, he's just gone a bit high. He's not going to have it. Sorry. Oh, he's going to get it. Ooh. That was close. Look at him try and get that front. He's just nervous. And he didn't do it, and now he's lost that momentum. That's how important that is. Sorry to cut you off there, Ryan. I just saw Philip Howe making a move, and it was just interesting to see the run he could get there. But yeah, you reckon he's okay at the moment?
Yeah, well, a caution will change everything here in the team strategy. It just takes one wrong move. We can see the cars really bumper to bumper. You can see very clearly we have Gary Wellman there sitting behind Jai, little moves, little bumps, even teams running together can cause stuff. But here we go, Josh
pitting.
in the pit lane. We have multiple cars in the pits. Here we go. Our leader is in. Let's see what's going to happen here. We also have Wade Sheedy, Platinum Racing, also in the pit lane. So Platinum's really throwing out a strategy here. Like 31 out of 80. Let's see what they can do with this one. Let's watch him get into the jacks.
Let's stay with him. You see that Troy Davis is in pit lane, which is concerning. He is not going anywhere for the rest of the night by the look of it. Oh no, he's just on a normal stop. He just randomly come in at the same time with these guys. There must be something in this. Obviously, these are the guys that did not stop at the start of the race, so they did not splash for fuel. You see Troy taking off there. We're just going to hang with this. There's not much else happening. Peter Jones has the lead of the race. That is something that's happening. Where did he come from? I told you. Oh, here we go. Alan Giles coming into the pits as well. There's a whole heap coming in behind me. Look, that's how long a pit stop takes. They're coming out in the pack, but a lap down.
Not to mention, it looks like Wade also jumped Jai. And Jai, being out the front there, had to take a bit more fuel. Look, he's fallen back quite a lot. We have the Skypoint Racing car. Oh, big crash for caution. Jai very barely missed that car down there, but we have our second caution, lap 32. Quite a big crash.
2-2. Nicholas Walsh was involved in that. Let's go back and have a look. This is what happens when cars pit on green. This is going to help a lot of cars here. This is going to catch out a few cars as well. Those cars who just pitted might be in a bit of stress right now. See here. Oh, so the 8-8. Look at that. What pausing that is. The 811. Nick Smith was already in danger here. Now, he's already been involved in an incident tonight. So that's where it is. Let's go back and have a look here. Right at the front of the pack. Gary Wellman's got up his inside there. This is the front of the pack. We should have been watching the front. I apologise, everyone. But you can see Gary Wellman's in a gap and he just drifts up. Just clips Nick. Now, this should normally straighten him up and he's okay. But you can see the front wheels there. He's just lost it. The reaction, he's just lost it at speed on a corner with everything. You see the cars going low down behind. Let's have a look from his nose here because at some stage he flips around. Actually, no, it's the gearbox, isn't it? Because he's going backwards. You can see the pack there. Pinnacle Esports needs to get low here. They don't want to be caught up in this. You can see he's pulling on and there's nowhere. That Texaco car just doesn't see him.
Or has nowhere to go. There we go. Gary Wellman, Nick Smith get together. Very easy thing to do in Gary's defence. Well, in no one's defence here, but really easy to do. These cars are travelling at 300 kilometres an hour. Their foot's flat. They're racing hard. And just a little steering correction or initiative for steering really changes the game. But Evan, we see here on board, didn't seem like he had anything to really do. I'm just going to go look back and have a look.
Remember, okay, if we had Scotty Rakin here, he'd run it through, but he's not here with us at the moment. But we've had a caution flag out for a while at this point because Thingo happened a fair way up. Or you can at least see the smoke on the track. These guys aren't on the brakes. Now they're on the brakes. He's just made the call. Last minute decision, and it's just hurt him in the end. I don't know. There'll be obviously the race stewards will look at all this later on, but I don't know whether to say that's Evan's fault or not, the secondary crash. But maybe we didn't have a yellow at this stage. I might be wrong on that because he hadn't spun around at this stage, I guess. But he's slow on the line, so we should have at least had a caution out. But these guys are all going super quick at this stage. And that second incident has taken out, I reckon, at least 3 cars, maybe more, when we get on to where Nick Smith ends up in all this. You can see his car should have some sponsoring on the bottom of his car right now. We'd be getting a good deal. But yeah, that's taken out at least 3 more cars in this pack, and that's unfortunate. What it is fortunate for is if Troy Davison can keep on going. But let's see who that's actually hurt if we go live again. If we go live again and press that button there, Alan Gilles at the front of this race. You see there, the car in front of him. This is what I was concerned about. Those three that had just pitted went a lap down. They're going to get their lap back, and they're going to be on the back of the pack here. That's okay. As soon as this pace car gets to the final lap, they'll get their wave around. But this is technically hurt these five cars in front. So Wade Sheedy got around by the look of it.
Yeah, but Wade Sheedy, he would have been a lap down from the safety car. But Jai, if we have a look at Jai Schultz, no, he's on the lead lap too, so they both end up getting it back. But how good's this? Troy Mortensen, Platinum, also. Troy's not usually up the front in any race. He's kind of like down the back.
The pit, by the way.
Yeah, he's in the pits, but he was sitting quite high in the race too. So big shout out to you. And same with Sebastian Vindel too. He's doing awesome as well. Two very good fellows that I talk to on pretty much the daily basis. They're doing really well, learning, adapting to the oval concept. And we do have quite a few newer drivers here in the series too, so big shout out to you guys jumping in through the season here and having a crack at the supercars and the ovals. It's always a blast, super speedway race, and we've only had 2 cautions here tonight, but they have been fairly big, and we're not even halfway, so who knows what's left to come, but we have quite a few cars that are out of the motor race.
Yeah, so I'm just looking, they're on their final lap. That was Philip Howe's got to get a run along because he needs to get in front of Jai Schultz by the time these guys catch up. But I think because Talladega is such a big track, super speedway in length, you see though he's lagging a fair way behind Jai Schultz. But so it was Michael Berta, Stuart Anderson, Jai Schultz, Stuart Anderson, Michael Berta, and Philip Howe at the front of that pack. Had to get the wave around the pace car to get their lap, to get to the back of the pack there, because they did not. Safety car just didn't work very well for them. The difference was Wade Sheedy was actually in front of the pace car when it came out. Because of that, remember, Jai Schultz had that slower pit stop, so Sheedy was just in front. Not going to make any difference at the end of the day. They're going to be able to come through the field. We've got 55 laps to go. There's no problems here at all. But it's just a very interesting and bad luck track position-wise. If that yellow hadn't have come out, it would have been a very interesting little strategy to play out at the end. But we have Alan Gilles, Sebastian Vindel, Gary Wellman, Jamie Namkervis, Matt Dyer, Cade Donnelly, Ruben Phelps, Dwayne Priest, Adam Malone, and Andy Barber is your top 10 right now as the cars come around the final stretch, which is definitely not straight at Talladega. Alan Gilles gone too early.
Yeah, and if the Geico restart's in play there, that might be a jump start. No, it's not. He hasn't passed it yet, so now we're green. Jill.
But that's interesting. Maybe we're not using the restarts at the moment in this league.
Yeah. Not sure, but here we go. 0.5 of a second gap back to Gary Wellman, Sebastian Vindel, Jamie Nankervis, Cade Donnelly. Your top 5 there. Really going to chase him. Watch the time close down. Look at all the other drivers and the draft working out. But
hurt him more than anything else, because when they catch him, they're going to be going significantly quicker, and they're just going to go right over the top of him. Unless Wellman's going to get behind him and push him. He doesn't want the lead.
And not to mention Cade Donnelly's also behind there, so they could be working together. Cade Donnelly looks like he's going to try and make a move here. They're about to go 3 wide down the straight, but no, Gary Wellman. Gary Wellman's in the pits.
This has got to be a black flag. This has to be a start infringement.
Yeah, not sure what happened there, but Gary Wellman in the pit lane. We have 2 other cars in the pit lane. We have a damaged car. We have a middle split racing car there too. He looks fairly damaged, so we have a few cars.
To this camera. No, he's going into his pit box.
Yeah, so we've got a few cars going into the pit lane. Maybe they didn't fuel, maybe they forgot, who knows. But that's a big thing in this race, nearly halfway. You can see down in the background Peter Gren there, we have a couple other cars just above the lead pack there.
So everyone's stopped in his box for 2.4 seconds.
Oh, so it's a bit of a splash and dash. That's a bit weird. I'm not sure.
Is there a penalty that's a stop and go? stop
I
and hold?
wouldn't say so because here, Australasian Supercar eSeries, no race control. We have it all with the live reviews, so our racing hands it all out. So a bit weird. Not sure what happened there, but didn't look like a drive-through. It wasn't a stop and hold because he would have been there for about 30 seconds in the pit bay, and he definitely wouldn't have gone up on the
Had
jacks.
some confusion about whether it was a stop and go or a drive-through, but I want to have a look at that restart now to find out why. Notice from iRacing, because that's bizarre. But anyway, Kay Donnelly's leading this race. Momentum's made their way up the front through Jamie Nankervis. Noddy Tompkins is in there as well. Alan Gill, you can see Shannon Blackburn, who we mentioned before, was down the back of the pack there. He has made his way back up the front, but he's 2 laps down. That's why we're mentioning him before. He's 2 laps down. That's going to be a problem for him. There is a couple cars in front of him that are hoping for lucky dogs. Oh, Ruben Phelps gets into, that's the 222 of, is that Hart? Sean Hart?
Yeah, I think so. But now we've really seen the racing kind of ramping up. Too wide. Look how close they are to each other. There could be anything happen here. We have Wade Sheedy up the front there. He gets blocked by, it looks like Ruben Phelps there. Also, we have Code 9 car down the bottom. He's pushing, looks like, not sure who that is. He's
up front.
Yeah.
He's
there
13 laps down.
Yep, Kay Donnelly's up in the front. Jamie Nankervis, he's on the middle lane there. You can see the black and white car. He's really holding the middle line. 2 lines of racing here. 295 kilometers an hour. They're flying. But look how close they are. A little mistake would have a big consequence here. 3 wide. They're really starting to ramp up the racing here. Look down at the yellow line. They're really crossing it. They're really sitting down there. But how good is this? Still 3 wide. They're getting ready to go 4 wide. There's a car space to go 4 wide. They're not going to do anything. But look behind at the pack. Apart from this front pack, everyone's single file. Everyone's anticipating something big to happen.
6 cars that aren't single file. The 6 cars at the front of the race. And I reckon almost all of them have touched Noddy Tompkins or Warwick Sharp at one stage here. 2 of them are a lap down. Multiple laps down at the front that are sitting more than single wide. We are halfway distance, by the way, everyone. We made it 40 laps in of 80. We've only had the 2 cautions. We still have 27 cars on the lead lap. That includes one Gary Wellman and Jai Schultz. Jai Schultz has fallen off this pack big time. He's way back. Him and Gary Wellman here. Gary Wellman's going through. What is going on here? He's got damage, has he?
Oh, that's Jai Schultz, as Gary Wellman, and they're not sure who the other car is. 3 lone cars. They won't be able to catch the pack. They are all together. So there we go. Middle split racing car below the yellow line there too. So it's getting a bit weird here. We have looking up at the front pack. We can see everyone working together side by side. Craig Roffey coming out the pit lane after a stop. But how crazy is this? We have so many different calls to make here tonight. Wilco, we have quite a few cars up the front racing. We have 5 or 6 cars in the middle / high line, and then the rest of the field are down the bottom. We have 3 cars off the lead pack. There's so many different things coming into play here. We're just over halfway, so we'll definitely see when strategy is really going to come into play. Lap 30 odd is where they came into pit last time. So if they can make it to lap 60, that would be 1 more stop to the end. So how crazy is this? Racing's really ramping up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a caution approaching us very soon.
I am so glad I don't have my webcam on tonight, because I have thrown my hands up in the air in just pure confusion more times than any other week tonight. As you see Warwick Sharp going back there, he's had enough of trying to get his lap back, and he's pulled back into the back of the pack, middle of the pack there, and he's off going. Yeah, so Jai Schultz, I don't know what's happened there. He's 25 seconds off the lead, so not far from being, probably half a lap down. Gary Wellman has had to go in the pits for 2 seconds. Craig Roffey has just had to go into the pits as well. He was in there for 9 minutes and 15 seconds, but he's just had another stop just recently. So whether that was... No, that was him. I don't know what's going on there. But like I said, the front 23 cars, Ash Ness is the last one on the main pack. It's 6.7 seconds long. The front 10 are within a second of each other, which includes one Andy Barber sitting in 10th, just ahead of Aiden Schultz, doing a great job. Colin Findleton as well, another name we haven't heard much of, sitting in 12th. Tim Blundell and Peter Jones doing a great job at 14th and 15th. But we're 44 into 80. We've had green flag stops for some people. Other people have actually got in on yellows each and every time, and it's definitely helping them out. Of the people who've only stopped once, Alan Gill is the best of them. He did not stop with that first caution, however, he did stop with the second one, so he's in the best position of the one-stoppers so far. But basically, the top 7 are all two-stoppers. Andy Barber's at the end of a long pack. Pinnacle Esports is sitting behind him. Blundell and Jones are right at the back of this pack. They're all happy to watch this race unfold. 36, 35 laps as we cross this line to go. And strategy, I don't know where we are on fuel. That's my biggest problem right now. I think we probably may have to do one more stop. If we do, then whether it's under yellow or whether it's under green will make a big difference this race, especially track's position. But you can see there the Pinnacle boys are slowly making their move at the moment. Probably the last 10s where we need to see people. You can see there Varndell doing a big run on the outside here. He got the momentum and he got the run that he needed. He's going to go around the outside. He's just running the back of Shannon Blackburn. Can't go any further. Drops down the middle lane ahead of Pinnacle Esports. This pack is 3 wide at the front, and they're doing a great job of staying 3 wide at the front and not doing not having any issues. I'm going to run out of breath here in a second, Ryan. This is just full on. This is what Talladega is, though, isn't it?
Yep, Talladega, baby. One of my favourite super speedways. You know, Talladega Night's one of my favourite movies, so this track definitely ramps up the surprise. Last year my father lost the championship here in the last round, but apart from that, really action-packed. We have NASCAR. They do their races here. And speaking about NASCAR, in P19, car 91, Tom Pritchard, sitting down the back there. I'd like to say he's pretty good at super speedway. For example, with my dad's league, he is pretty much always on pole, so I wouldn't have been surprised if he set a really high qualifying position. So keep an eye out on Tom Pritchard. He will definitely be showing. But quick movers, how crazy is this? We have Noddy Tompkins, car 119, P4. He's up 32 positions. That's massive for a super speedway. And he started out of P36. He's now in P5. He's moved his way up quite a way, and that's quite a good hard charger here. But you know what? Awesome super speedway racing, some of my favourite. But looking at the front still here with 3 wide. Cars are racing pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something happening here. Look, we have 9 cars alone at the front there. Let's count even more. We have probably 12 cars 3 wide. And now they're really starting to bunch up down the bottom to try and get a run down the bottom. Nearly 4 wide on that 47. Cade Donnelly just sneaking his nose of the car into the first position. Now it goes to Tompkins.
Great. I love it. Just quickly, I went back and checked after you made the comment about Tom Pritchard. I have got what should have been the qualifying positions for tonight's race. Tom Pritchard was indeed number 1 qualified pole position for tonight's race, but unfortunately it did not happen because of the stuff up with the servers. But Noddy Tompkins is going to get a bonus point here. He's jumped in front of Cade Donnelly. No one can get on top of him here unless... he's on the longest line here. He's going to have the momentum. He's going to get his bonus point. He barely just missed last lap. As they come around the back here, unless Jamie Nankervis can steal it from him, I don't think he's got the momentum to be able to do that. As he crosses the start-finish line in front and gets the bonus point. We'll see if he drops back now. But are you interested in hearing that Tom Pritchard would have been pole position tonight?
Yeah, not a surprise. If I'm honest, he really knows how to work his way around a super speedway. So I would have expected him to be around the fourth, third, second pole position area. We do have quite a few other drivers that do pretty well. The Sim boys do really well in super speedways too. We see up the front there, Damien Nankervis. He's moved his way up the front too. Some newcomers to super speedways too. We have Sebastian Vindel. He's blinding quick on the road if there was a road course in this series, which of course there is not. There's no doubt that he would be right at the front. Peter Gretton jumping in, dipping his toes into the super speedways too. He commentates a couple of super speedway races too, so he's an awesome broadcaster as well, dipping his toes in the Australasian Supercar eSeries too. So quite a variety of drivers here, variety of skills. Some people are better at short tracks, some people are better at super speedways, some people are new, some people are experienced. So we can really see the variation in skill and patience in the race here, but we're still 3 wide. We've been 3 wide for quite a while. Really ramping up speed too. Now we're reaching about 300 kilometers an hour, 310 kilometers an hour. So they are really pushing. They're really ramping up their speed, and I'll assume that we have one more stop to go. So they'll be trying to get to that critical lap before they can come in, and they may be able to bolt some new tyres on, but tyres really don't affect anything, especially when they're coming, when they're racing this quick in pretty much a low tyre wear kind of venue here at Talladega. But how good is this racing? They're still 3 wide. Jesus, crazy.
Yeah, look, it's 3 wide, but the interesting thing now is there's no real change of positions. Noddy's got the lead of the race. Cade's happy to sit behind him. Alan Jules happy to be behind that. Jamie Nankervis is sitting there just ahead of, is that Stevie? No, that's not Stevie Hoppert. That's 131. That is, I don't have a number. Oh, that must be someone who's laps down. That is Stevie Hoppert. I did get it right. That's Wade Cheaty, and that's Matty Guide, who's always been up there all race. He's up there, but they're just not changing position. You see Noddy getting a little bit higher there. He needs to be careful. Cade might come down the inside of him there. Pinnacle sitting mid-pack. Jai Schultz and Stuart Anderson, Gary Wellman, Michael Berta. Maybe they didn't get onto the end of the pack. But they're sitting that 25, 24 second mark, so they're working together really well. Let's go have a look at them, actually. You can see them working as a team, the 4 of them there. They're not losing any ground on the leaders. They're just going along. So they need a yellow right now. If they get a yellow, they're good. But they're doing a great job of not going a lap down, but considering it's only the 4 of them. But other than that, you've got that little pack you were talking about with Tom Pritchard in there. There's a pack of about 6 cars there, 7 cars. 7 cars indeed. They're holding their own. They're not going any further back. But they are chasing this massive 18-car long pack. Actually, it's bigger than that because there's a few cars that are a couple laps down in with them. You can see they're 4 wide at the front. We need to go up front here. This is 4 wide. This is not good. As we go up there, it's still 4 wide. It's just not quite at the very, very front. You can see Stevie Hoppert wants to be in front. So this is important for Stevie Hoppert. He is not a lap down anymore. He's the lead car of this pack. If we get a yellow flag right now, he gets his lap back for free, which then actually helps Peter Gretton, because Peter Gretton then gets the lucky dog. But Stevie Hoppert wants to be in front here if we get a yellow. If he's not in front, if he's got 1 car in front of him, it screws everything up. But he's doing a great job of trying to get back into this race. But Jamie Nankervis and Ruben Phelps have a different plan for him. They're going to get in front and they're going to block him in, and he won't be able to go anywhere. Ooh, as he gets a bit low there. That's the biggest problem. If you do dip below that yellow line when the banking, because the banking is so steep, coming back on, it sets you in trouble. But Momentum Esports is doing a great job here with this track. Corey Sharp's another one who wants to get a lap back. It's not going to help him at the end of the night. He is 14 laps down, but he's at the front trying to do what basically I just said Stevie Hoppert was trying to do. We have 34 laps to go. Troy Davidson's back out in the track, and he is about to go another lap down here. But we are 3 wide / almost 4 wide. Varndell's going to get caught out here big time. Doesn't want to get the squeeze.
Yeah, and a big shout out to a lot of these drivers too, at the front, being 3 wide for quite a while as well. It's not as easy as it looks. You've got to be so careful, steady, really stay on your line, not make a mistake, because one person makes a mistake, the whole field crashes, then we have quite a big caution. But there's quite a lot of things that the drivers will be thinking about. When am I going to stop? When's there going to be a caution? When's a good time to make a move? And for a lot of the teams, when do we get towards the front? But on the driving kind of side, when I've driven Talladega, for example, in a pack of 50, 60 cars, you got to keep the car so straight and steady. You can't make a mistake. You can't touch or really touch the bottom yellow line too. So that's something that the drivers will be keeping in mind as well. The super speedways are pretty much some of my favourite types of racing here. But how good is this? They're back 2 wide, and we're really starting to wrap up this race. And yeah.
Wayne Sheedy. Okay, let's go on board with Wayne Sheedy. Just have a look at the effort that it does, the wheel work he needs to do, the brake work and the accelerator work that he needs to do. He needs to be on the back here of Ruben Phelps. You can see in the rear vision mirror, he's got Shannon Blackburn coming around the outside of him, just sneaking around. So he's 3 wide now. Ruben goes up. If Ruben catches Shannon Blackburn there, he's all of a sudden in trouble. Now Sheedy goes down to the bottom line. He's probably still 3 wide, unless he's got an actual physical spotter, because there's Alan Gill going up the inside of him. All he's getting is 2 wide, 3 wide, 2 on your outside, 2 on your outside from the iRacing spotter, all race. That's all he gets. He never gets oh, you're clear, and you never get a break from the information that you're getting. You're getting information from the steering wheel. You're trying to stay as close as you can to the people in front, behind, left and right of you. Luckily on the low line, and you don't want that when people start vanishing for the server, but his bottom line's probably the best. But have a look here. You've got turn-in markers. If he gets too close to the guy in front, you can't see your turn-in marker. He needs to be up close to this guy in front, but it really hampers the information that he gets for turning in at times. So it's all reactionary. And that's how the big mistake of you just pull up the track just a little bit because you missed your turning marker, and then all of a sudden you're into the car next to you, and that car's into the car next to them, that car's into the fence, and then all of a sudden you're out of the race, and multiple people are out of the race. But
yeah, and
he needs to be closer. That's the other problem, is he's not giving the person in front his advantage, so he needs to get right in underneath the tail here of Yield, but he's not. He's sitting back, and that's probably the safest option right now. He's in the position he wants to be for the end of the race. Yeah,
and that's right. And as a driver, also knowing Wade quite well, quite a lot of these drivers I hang out with quite a lot around the Discord scene, Wade Sheedy especially. Triple screen monitors, you can see either side. Differences between the drivers. Some people have the single monitor, some people have triple, some people have VR. That comes into play too. What's your visibility like? And then some people also run spotters, so the spotters will be going crazy. Car left, car right, clear. And you'll be getting quite a lot of information coming to you also to be able to make these moves smart. And then on top of that, you've got to drive as best as you can to be able to get the best chances of winning the race. But there we go, Wade Sheedy. We jumped on him for a few laps. Now we have a couple of cars in the pit lane. They are making their final stops of the race, or pretty much the final stops of the race, I would say, actually. Lap 60 out of 80. I would say they'll make it to the end of the race. But look at this pack at the front, pushing each other. They'll be getting ready to come in at any time. I would say any time from now they'll be able to come in. Teams like Southern Stars would be coming in, grouping up, really trying to push and get past the pack. Same with other teams like Platinum. Maybe Justin Witcher, Remy Jaeger would get together and really try and create their own little.
They've just pitted.
There we go.
The Sports is pitted together.
There you go. Pinnacle's in the pit lane. They'll be working together once they go out. This is awesome.
Extremely important because we know how much draft matters. You don't want to pit here under green without anyone to go out with you. Let's watch these guys go out together. They'll find each other. They'll race together. We saw the 4 of them at the back, Jai Schultz and all that, running together, and they were not hampered by draft. Nigel's got to get off the jacks here. He's going to lose Witcher. and he does get off the jacks. Jaeger, Witch has had a great stop. Jaeger is just getting out. See, that's the problem now. Witch is too far ahead. He's going to have to lose ground back to these guys unless he can get onto someone else up front. But as they come out, they need to be in a pack because they need to go the same speed as everyone else here. Otherwise, they'll start losing ground and it will be all for nothing. You can see here Witch getting out. You can see here Roffy coming around the outside, joining up with them. You can see back there Gilles. Gilles was one of those ones who pitted a moment ago. So Witcher he's saved fuel as much as he can at the back of this pack. They all have, and they've got out way ahead of the others behind. This is where the lead of the race will be fought out right here. They're on the lead lap. If they get a caution here, they're not hampered, is the other big thing right now. Let's go to the front of the pack. You can see them chasing them down. They want to catch this Pinnacle guys and put them a lap down just in case something happens. As quick as they can. You can see them coming onto them. Warwick Sharp here is pushing our leader. Our leader's got over a second lead right now. Matt Dyer's got a big lead. He needs to get on the back of this pack here, otherwise he's going to start losing speed as well. And he does. He gets on the back of this pack. This is going to help him out. He's in a really good position here if he can keep up with these guys. And maybe even jump to the front of this pack before he comes in. But what are we going to see here? We've just got a whole heap more go in the pits. Tim Blundell, Ruben Phelps, Jamie Nankervis, Peter Jones, Gary Wellman, Jai Schultz, Ash Nessa. These guys are all pitting for the end of the race as well.
Yep, this is the critical lap. Everyone's coming in. Everyone's going to fill their tanks. I wouldn't put the well, I would say that they might be able to sneak in some tyres too, just in case the car's getting a bit loose, a bit squirmy on the exit of the corner. Just little things like that may give them a higher chance of winning this race. But less than 20 laps remain in the motor race. Sebastian Findell out in the lead. He is doing a good job there, but everyone's coming in. Everyone should be able to make it to the end from here, and no doubt if we go caution now, everyone will be coming in. Everyone may be putting some tyres on, and then we're really going to see a big race to the finish. But I won't put the commentator's curse on the field yet, but how good is this?
81, Timmy Blundell's had a shocker in the pits, I must say. He would hate that I've showed that, but here we go. Matty's getting out. He's taken the cone with him. He's gone inside the safety car. That's a group there. That's not a problem. Sebastian Bardell down to Wayne Sheedy have not pitted, so they're the ones that are flying at the moment. They still have to come in as yet, but Matty Dyer is going to come out here, and he is going to be in the lead of this race theoretically, as Wayne Sheedy now comes into the pit lane. Let's have a look at the back here. Now the back of the gearbox, that's how far back. That's the lead that Matt Dyer's got because he grabbed the back of that pack and got catapulted up front. And he's been sitting there, and the pit stop was actually really good. So he's got 19.9 seconds in the box compared to 25s and 24s. He's got a huge lead right now. But the problem is, let's have a look at the blimp. The blimp static, where is he? He is way out in front there. He's got no one to drag him along. This pack will catch him pretty quickly unless he can get a group going somehow. But let's go to the back of that group. Wade Sheedy's in the pits. He's just coming out now. He might be able to grab the tail of him. He's going to be close. Will he be able to get up to speed quick enough to grab him? He might. These guys are doing a great job. They're way out in front of Justin Witcher, who is back here in this pack that are chasing them down. They need to work together to catch us up. Quickly, let's have a look at it. So it's Matty Dwyer's doing, he's on his outlap, so that's not really anything we can tell. But this pack needs to catch them before it's too late.
Yeah, not to mention Southern Stars are 1, 2, and 3 at the moment. They haven't gone through the pit lane at all yet. Their pit strategy will be closing very shortly. I'm not too sure if they have pitted or not. Not sure where I can see that in the live timing, but
currently Aiden Schultz has been going for 32 laps. Adam Malone has been going for 33 laps. Sebastian Vardell's 33 laps. Andy Barber's 33 laps, and Colin Finblaine is 32 laps. That's the largest stints of the people that are still out there.
Yeah, and that's right. So we'll have Aiden Schulz. He'll be he's in the lead at the moment. He will be working together also with his teammate Adam Malone, Andy Barber in the team also, and then Finland, one of the recruitments with their team. He's not officially a part of them, but one of our close buddies. But here we go, Aiden dipping down the bottom line. There we go.
All those ones I just rattled off.
There we go. We have Andy Barber, Sebastian Vindel. We have Adam Malone, Finland. And then we should have a couple other cars as well. So we have about four Southern Star / Skypoint cars. We have a Premier Racing Team car of Sebastian Vindel. He'll be working with them too. Let's see what can happen here. Southern Stars really start to shine.
Guys, wait till you, Matt. I know what position they're in. They know how important this little gap is, and they don't want a caution right now. They are pushing a two-man battle to keep this 3.2 second lead over the rest of the pack. It's already down to 3 seconds since I looked at it a second ago. They will inherit the lead as they come around here. They are doing their best to make this lead stay, and they're doing a great job of it. It's still 3 seconds. It's 13 laps to go. They've got a winning margin right now. They've just got to hold on to it, and it's interesting enough, they're growing this margin. Nigel Patton, although this group's just come out in front of him.
And also
done.
Yeah, and what I've also noticed there, Peter Gretchen, he's a lapped car, but he's also there as well. Southern Stars really start to shine when they're by themselves, so they'll really be trying to work together and start pushing. Look at the pack. There's quite a lot of familiar faces with there too, so a lot of respect. I wouldn't say that we would see anything happen here. Sebastian Vindel back in the pits. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a drive-through. We'll stay on board with him, see what's happening. But looks like he's really coming into the inside lane. Off the fast lane, coming to his pit box, and he looks like he's stopping. Boom, he stops up on the jacks. Not too sure. Let's see how long he's going to sit there. Boom, only like 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds. Might be serving a stop and hold, I'd say.
Yeah, because he's being held now in the pits. That's a stop and hold. So that's probably, I'd say, either an unsafe exit or it's speeding on exit. Because if you speed on entry, you get to do it in your current stop. If you speed on exit, you have to do it and you have to come back in, which is the most painful one to get. You never want to get that. So Colin Finland, 12 laps to go, has the lead of this race. Troy Davison there trying to stay as high as he can to not get in anyone's way. Doing a great job. He's up to 29th now just by lapping out there. Every single point he grabs tonight is a point that's going to help him at the end of this season. Remember, he was at 35th or 36th in that accident in the first couple laps of the race. Night was basically over. But look at this. Look at this duo at the front. Teams holding the front of this grid. Locking it down.
Yeah, here we go. Southern Stars and Skypoint. They're inheriting the 1, 2, and 3 positions here. We have quite a few cars down the bottom there. We'll have Wade Sheedy in the mix there. We have Peter Gretton in the mix. We have Dyer in the mix. Patton, he's dropped off a bit. So we have about 6 of the lead cars here in this pack. And pretty much all of them know each other except Dyer. And that's certainly unfamiliar person that's in there too, so we're definitely going to see some really hard clean racing here. But we're approaching 10 laps to go. Southern Stars 1, 2, 3, they'll be working together. Wade Sheedy will be trying to steal their draft and possibly try and make a move at the end. This is when we see the strategy really coming out to play, and this is when we're going to see.
I've got some maths for you, everyone at home. Get out your calculators. We've got 10 laps to go. The front pack's doing 52.3 seconds a lap. The chasing pack, which is led by Nigel Patton and Jamie Nankervis, are doing 51.9s. It's about 0.5 of a second a lap. The gap is 4 seconds. This pack is going to collide with the pack behind if they can keep that pace up by the last lap. Or as they get checked up big time by Nick Smith, who's in the wrong position going a further lap down. That's going to hurt them. But that maths plays out that these two packs are going to collide with about 2 laps to go. This is anyone's race, Ryan.
Yeah, or sooner, because once they get into the around a second gap to the car ahead, that big draft really comes into play. They'll really be able to push, they'll really be able to gain. So at the end, we're going to have quite a big pack together. And it looks like we're not going to go caution here at the end. I'm touching wood. I'm praying that we don't go caution again. But how good's this? 9 laps to the white flag, and watch this pack game.
Liam, look at them 3 wide. They were going better 2 wide, but Pinnacle's really pushing them. Jamie Nankervis has just done a 51.2. That's a full second quicker than the group ahead of him. These guys are flying this pack, so they're not only going to catch him, they're going to catch him and go around the front of him. It's now currently 2.6 seconds. I talked about 3 seconds before. It is... Oh, no, that's the end of it. Which is in the air. Which is over.
No caution so far.
No caution. How is... There it is. There it is. We caught that one live. Unfortunately, this pack was flying. And that's what's happened when the pack's flying, unfortunately. Let's go. Let's just slow this one down here. You can see here. Let's go Blimp, then Chopper.
There we go. We have...
So it's Ruben's hit... Oh, no, I'm not going to say who... Okay, so there's a collision between Ruben Phelps and Nigel Patton. What happens here? Ruben does go up. He's definitely gone into Nigel Patton's line. Whether that's part of the turn happening, where I talked about before, you missed your turning marker ever so slightly.
But look at Justin. That wasn't involved at all. So it looks like Justin saw it happen in the mirror.
Hold on, I reckon
there's a crash behind, and it looks like he's kind of driven into Jamie and Curvis.
That's a
there up at the front,
code, mate.
I wouldn't say that's a net code.
Have a look at the front of Ruben Phelps' car and the back of Justin Witch's car when they get a little bit closer. So just there, that's Witch's rear end is going out. That car doesn't do that normally. That's
a big call to make, and I think I'll agree with that, Wilco. Look, Justin Witcher now hitting the curve at Nankervis due to that contact of Ruben and Greg Spencer, if I'm correct. And there we go, secondary contact pushes him right into the barrier. He makes contact with the safer barrier too, going up in the air, and then look upside down, looking at the ground. How crazy is this? Riding the top of the fence and nearly out of the track boundaries too. The catch fence doing its job.
You know, the most crazy part of this? Crazy. At this part of the race, he has not spun. So we're still green. You can see the green light right there. This car is almost in the infield. It's riding the barrier. And it's not until... He's still straight at this stage. He's just off pace. I wonder if it's when Jamie... Well, he has to come off the rail at some stage. So the caution comes there where he spins. He finally catches a post and then spins. Oh, Troy Davison. See, that's a very important part for Troy Davison as well. Justin Witcher is now only 2 points ahead of him in the race. If he can get his car back out on track, which currently it's still in the pits. That's a huge point for the championship, because let's have a look at the other one. Where is it? Where's Raymond Yeager? Sitting in 11th. He is the one that's going to benefit the most out of tonight if he can hang on to the position he is right now.
Yeah, how good is this? 5 laps to the white flag. I'll just shoot Ryan. When we go green, but man, I have my wooden desk here. I'm touching it. I'm
build up. It's going to be such a good finish.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But you know what? We have all the cars left of the race all bunched together. We have Dyer, Sheedy locking out the front row. Barber, Aiden Schultz. He is in. They're looking at the second row. Adam Lowe in Finland. That's the third row. So it's on the side of Skypoint, looking at the two of the front rows. Not the front row, second and third row I just said before. So they'll be looking at making moves too. But we can't discount anyone here, because it doesn't matter whether you're up the front or the back. Anyone can win this one from now.
I'm going to throw a name at you. Is Andy Barber out for revenge at Talladega?
No commentator's curse coming from me, but I think you know my answer.
Look, Aiden Schultz has got. We know how good this guy is. He is a bit of a specialist at speed. He's a specialist wherever he goes. But I've seen him win. I think he won the first race of the season. Was that at Daytona or somewhere like that? It was a super speedway, I'm sure.
That was Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, okay, not quite. But Adam Malone's in there. Ruben Phelps, who was, well, the instigator of all that, is still in here with a run. Alan Gill, we've seen how fast he's been all night. Nigel Patton took a little bit of a hit there, but he's still in it. Cade Donnelly and Raymond Yeager sitting 10th and 11th. And we saw Christopher Tomlin at the start of the middle part of this race, how quickly he could get the front. We do have 21 cars on the lead lap. Jamie Nankervis has got out, and he's still on the lead lap. Whether his car is fast enough, we will see in a little bit, but his car is out. Noddy Tompkins is still on the lead lap. He led some races tonight. Jai Schultz is still on the lead lap. He led some laps, a lot of laps tonight. Peter Jones has led a lap tonight. So most of this top 15 or 21 that are sort of on this lead lap still have had a chance at the front of this race. We've got 5 laps to go, 4 laps once we cross green. Will we see green, white checker? I don't know. Will people have enough fuel if we see green, white checker? I don't know. We had such a brilliant finish lined up. The 2 packs were going to come together. We've now got the 2 packs together. Unfortunately, with 1 or 2 cars less. Justin Witcher is still in the pits. Troy Davison is 2 laps behind him. It pretty much doesn't matter now. They're going to end up on just about the same amount of points anyway. Troy Davison's night's been helped out by that a lot. But Raymond Yeager is still here to bag points. He needs to get to the front of this pack as quick as he can to get as many points as he can in this 4-lap dash for the race win. So much to play out yet. We've seen so much of a race, but we've still so much to go.
That's right, 5 laps remaining as well. The pace car's lights are out, so the white flag will be taken in around 4 laps time once they go green. So here we go, Talladega Super Speedway, one of my favourites. Let's see what's going to happen here. It's going to be wild. There's going to be cars everywhere, cars going 3, 4. You know what? Maybe 5 wide will go.
We're not 5 wide at the end. I'm going to cry. We get the pace car pulling down. We've got the cars out of 4. They're coming down this front straight, which is definitely not straight. Americans, come on. They get up on the banking. You can see there Andy Barber's getting right behind Matt Dyer. He wants to push him. He wants to get the start with him. He doesn't want to get swamped by the guys on the outside. He's ready to go. They're in the start zone. He holds it. They go. There's a big crash at the back, and we are under yellow straight away.
And here we go. Andy Barber is now promoted into second. Bit of a start crash there. We have Noddy Tompkins there. I saw in the background he was either hit or got.
I think it's Nick Smith again. To be honest, there's a black car. I don't want to call it too quickly. The 28, no. So the 28 is 28. I can find it right there. It's not a 28. So what's that? 25? 25 of Hall. It's Stevie Hall. No. Van Del's clipped him. Is that what I'm going to call from here? Van Del has clipped him on the way on the restart, trying to go around the outside. I think he has.
I'm not sure. Maybe there might have been a bit of a checkup, but boom. Van Del just taps the back of Steve. Steve goes down into Noddy.
Look at the run Roffy's getting. Roffy's going down the inside of overtaking so many cars on the outside. It's not funny. But it's all for naught because we have got another caution. Sorry, Nick Smith, for saying it might have been you. It wasn't you for sure. But there it is. That is unfortunate. That is going to see us pretty close to a green-white checker. Let's see if anyone... Let's go live. Let's go to the front of the pack. As you've mentioned, I've got Andy Barber back to third. Matt Dyer's out here on his lonesome.
Yeah, not too sure.
What's going on? These cars are going awfully slow.
But you know what? If they might be waiting for the safety car, but what I will say is Southern Stars, Sky Point still have the second and third row locked out, regardless if Andy Barber does have his promotion to second, then that will definitely bring something in with there. But Matt Dyer, he's gone really slow. Looks like he kind of jumped away from the field, letting everyone bunch up again. They'll be waiting for the safety car.
Let me go back and have a look at this. I
Yeah.
want to find out what's happened. Let's go back 50 seconds. I don't think we're far off that. We've got plenty of time. This is going to take a while to get this one restarted. So he's got to start. He's got to jump. So this is the start. It was a really good, like we saw it. The restart from up front until I went to the back, and Andy's pushing him along really well. But this is yellow already, so Andy should get second. We'll see how we go, but yeah, they've slowed right down. I assume they probably should have stayed racing at this stage. They've all slowed right down, but the pace car won't come out until they go around again.
Interesting. So now we're 4 laps to go. The cars have crossed again. We have Dyer. There we go. We have Matt Dyer. He's behind the safety car. We have Wade Chitty behind Matt, and then we have Andy Barber
There's a little lesson.
and then Aiden.
Lesson for you kiddies watching at home. It's still... Oh, there you go. Got scared by that car coming around the outside. It's still racing, full racing, under yellow until you catch up to the safety car. Now, I know we've talked about tonight where cars unfortunately crashed into other cars because they were still racing under yellow, but that is the actual rule. So these guys should have kept on going as fast as they could until they got around to the safety car. But no one's harmed in this position. It's only when you're further down the pack and you can't quite catch up and people get free pit stops on top of you because you don't get around in time. But it is still a way to go. Keep that momentum going, people, until you get the safety car. 43 cars started the race. No, 42 cars started the race tonight. We now only have... We still have 21 on the lead lap. Noddy Tompkins has got in and out of the pits. No, he's in the pits right now getting repairs. Jamie Nankervis is in getting more repairs. They will probably get out before the safety car comes around and get... What I keep on saying, safety car. Someone yell at me. Pace car comes around. Tim Blundell is 19th. He's pretty much on the back of this pack right now. Do my maths. Is this a green-white checker or is this not quite, is it? It's anything. It's everything but a green-white checker. So that means we still have the green-white checker up our sleeves.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't say it's green-white checker now. We have 4 laps to go. Pace car will be coming out. Their lights will come out once they cross this line. The start-finish line. Which is pretty much a green-white checker anyway, because they go green 1 lap and then they go yellow flag, white flag, and then they go checkered.
It's not an official one, yeah. So because if it had been an official one, we'd only get the 1, so then this would be it. But we do have another chance to go to overtime after this, if there is an accident on the green flag lap, which is what we're coming around to right now. We will have 2 to go. Matt Dyer, Wade Chitty, Andy Barber, Aiden Schultz, Adam Malone, Colin Findlay, Alan Gill, Kay Donnelly, Ruben Phelps, Christopher Tomlin. That is your top 10. It's anyone in that pack's game. It will be a harder effort from people behind that to come through, but they can.
And you never know. Some people up the front could make some contact, and then that's the race. But you know what? Safety car lights are out. We're going to see very shortly what's really going to happen. But what's your predictions coming into this one, Wilco? Do you think we're going to go green to the end, or do you think that the green white checker is definitely going to come back and come back to bite us?
It's Talladega, mate. I don't. My crystal ball doesn't work at the best of times, but I think we're going to go green to the end. I think this is it. Once we start, we will finish. We will get a crash on the final lap. And it'll be someone like, let's go, Troy Mortensen come through, or Gary Wellman or Jai Schultz will come through and take the win from behind when the front pack all crashes trying to get across the line 5 wide. That's a guess. Let's see how it'll go at the end. I want to quickly shout out My Private Seller, Locked On Lads TV, United Electrical Solutions, Hot Toddy's Heating Installs, the Sim Racing Edge, Pagnian Advanced Simulations, and Witcher Electrics for bringing this craziness to you each and every week. What's your call, Ryan?
Not too sure, but you know what? thanks to all the sponsors that support the league. Locked On Lads TV, awesome broadcast here with the Australasian Supercar eSeries. We have Matt Dyer and Wade Sheedy side by side getting ready to go green. Again, pace cars in the pit lane, and then Matt can go at any time now. But they have Andy Barber and Aiden Schulz. And then we have also Adam Malone and Finland. We never know what's going to happen here. Getting ready to go, and now we're green. Matt Dyer moves away nicely. Andy Barber's following behind him. We have Aiden Schulz right behind Wade Sheedy there, really giving each other a push. And then we see 3 wide action already, and we see a couple cars going below the apron there. That's getting a bit dicey. But here we go, Matt Dyer out in the lead at the moment. Andy Barber's trying to make a move down the bottom. And we have Wade Sheedy right next to Andy Barber going 3 wide. We have Jill trying to make a move from the outside. And then we also have Aiden Schulz trying to make a move there. Also, we have, it looks like Finland trying to make it 3 wide. Also, it's getting really hairy here. We have...
we got a caution.
Oh, there we go. Caution already. Here we go. Green white checker is going to come into play here. And that's Troy Davidson. We are on board. Well, we're not on board. We're looking at the moment, unlucky championship leader, where he got involved in the incident earlier on. A lot more damage looking like it's on his car. At the moment, we're going to have a look at the replay and see what happened.
Yeah, he's definitely missing more than he was missing before, unfortunately.
And it looks like he's missing a lot more spirit.
Although, he might have just got caught up in the previous one, because this is back pretty far. Let's go to someone more up front. There it is up front there, Roffy. One of the Roffies is involved. Not that Roffy. That Roffy. He's not facing the right direction. That's generally a sign. Ash Nessa, this is probably what I've been concerned about all night. He's been blinking out like crazy. Okay, so let's go on board with Gary Wellman, the person I picked. He's not going to win this race now. Let's go the front nose. What happens here at full speed? Oh. And wow. Actually, Gary Wellman's got okay out of that.
Yeah, he's very lucky.
I think Warwick Sharp's the one that's actually been taken out. Yeah, Warwick Sharp's left the server. That's Jamie Nankervis there, and then he gets hit.
Actually, no, it's just not that bad of a hit. It just really makes sense. Maybe he got disqualified for too many incidents, you never know, but crazy. Green will check it now.
We are green white checkering. Sorry, everyone. I'm too excited looking at what's going on here. Wow, we were both wrong. We're definitely getting this. This is it, though. Let me explain it for those of you playing at home that haven't seen a green white checker before. This is it. We have, obviously, it's in the name. We have a green lap. We have a white lap, which is the final one. So we have 2 laps from the end of this race to finish it. Whatever happens, we get a result from this restart. If we get a crash on the first lap of the restart, if it's under green flag and we get a crash and we get a yellow thrown, that is it. The cars that are in position at that stage, that is what you finish the race with. There is no more overtaking. There is no more racing. That is the end of it. If we get to the final lap, we get to the white flag lap, and we get a crash, there is no yellow thrown. We race till the end, and when we cross the finish line, we'll have to decide who's won this race at that stage. We need to get through 1 lap at Talladega without an incident, so we can get those cars going across the line and getting a final result. If we do not get that, I will be sad. But the worst thing that can happen here is we get a crash on restart, and that's it. Matty Dyer's in the box seat right now. If that happens, he just has to get away. He'll be in front. If a crash happens, he wins the race. However, if he gets in front, the rest of the pack is going to chase him down, and he'll be in the worst spot. he will have cars coming over him left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it
we
is
have.
the biggest catch-22 of being in first place on a green-white checker in history.
Yeah, that's right. We have Matt Dyer in the pole position. We have Gilles in second, replacing Wade Sheedy, that was in second on the last restart. He fell back. Andy Barber in third again, and a bit of a swap at Finland is in fourth. Green white checker now is happening. That's why we can see 3 laps to go still showing there. We have one more lap behind the safety car. What is your predictions here? You said before you're not really sure super speedway racing. Anything can happen. Anyone can win the race.
I'm going with, we've got Crummy666 in chat on YouTube is calling out Christopher Tomlin. I almost mentioned it in the restart there. He got himself up to 8th in that short little period of time. He had pace. He was definitely moving. He's only 4 back from the lead. You can see that green and white car looking pretty good there. Him and Nigel Patton. Nigel Patton just down on his inside there. He's got pace. They both showed at the last restart, but you can't go past this front 3. The 814 there, though, of Colin Finland, he did a big effort to keep Alan Gilles where he was. There was a couple big shunts from behind to get him rolling and get him almost into the lead when we went under yellow. He is a man that I think has some smarts here. I think he's probably, that 814 has got a really good chance of winning this race from where we go. Have a look back there a little bit further. You see Raymond Yeager will get a gun start. He will go around as many people as he can on the outside. You can see Jai Schultz is in there as well, but I think your winner comes from this front 4 right now. Matt Dyer's had pace all night. It's hard to go past him. Have I named everyone yet? Have I had a good chance?
Well, we also have Tom Pritchard in 15th position. I did mention him earlier in the program, but apart from that, we have quite a lot of highly skilled and quick drivers at the end here. They've all played their cards smart. They're all here at the end, and we'll be ready to go green shortly. But you know what, Wilco? I'm pretty excited to see the turnout. Anything can happen. Anything. They could crash in the first lap, where you might have our championship. Our race finish within the first couple of seconds of the caution, or we can go white flag and then see what happens from there. You never know, but there's usually quite a big crash at the end when everyone tries to go 4 and 5 wide. But I'm excited to see who takes the win with this one. But Dyer out in front, we do have Gilles there also. In my opinion, usually the front runners or the people that start at the front of the pack have a bit of a less of chance of taking the win, because they are the ones punching the holes in the air.
Yeah, this is really interesting. The pace car stayed out for an extra lap. The lights will go out now, as you can just see, but they've been in formation for a full lap already. I don't know what's happened here. I don't know whether it was admin forced it, but I don't think it was. I just think it's iRacing's decided to go an extra lap. We are good to go at the end of this. Green flag racing, then white flag racing, and then the checker. If we do not want an incident in that first lap. But you can see there a few people getting ready for restarts, getting high energy, high revs in the car. Christopher Tomlin's one just going up and down a bit, just making sure he's got his clutch point in the best position you can. Cade Donnelly's going to look quick here at the start too. But yeah, it's one of those things. Alan Gilles, Matt Dyer, Andy Barber, really, Wayne Sheedy, Colin Finland have all been up front of this race for the majority of this race. It's hard to turn around and say, hey, they're going to get beaten here. But like I said, anything can happen. You can see Christopher Tomlin's, he's just itching to get around the outside there of Aiden Schultz. You look for a big start from that guy. I want to see how Tom Pritchard's approaching this. He's 16, so he's 8 back. He's on the inside. He's going to have to go around the outside but the inside to get a good start here. He knows what to do. He's got pace, as we said. So, yeah.
Not to mention he does have car 4 there. Not too sure who that is. There we go, Adam Malone. Sorry, Adam, if you're watching the stream. You can be a bit mad at me in the team chat next time. But Adam Malone and Tom Pritchard, they'll be working together also. We do have Andy Barber, Finland, and Aiden up there
I
at the
think we're
front
talking
too.
about the
So
number two anyway. The number
yeah,
two
so
is one in front of him.
yep, there we go. So the team's a bit split up too, but they'll be working together. The safety car is pulling under the apron now. They have all 4 tyres off the track, and he's pulling into the pit lane. We're getting ready to go green. Matt Dyer will have control of this restart. We have Alan Gill on the outside too. Let's see what the Stars and the Skypoint Racing cars can do now. We're getting ready to go green. Let's see what happens.
Jaeger jumps out as well. They don't get good starts, but Jaeger Schultz is out as well. Matt Dyer's got the lead though. Andy Barber's in there in second. Alan Gill has no one behind pushing him. He is going to fall back here quick. Wayne Sheedy needs to get up in front of this pack. No, Andy Barber's done it. He's exactly where he wants to be. Let's not get a caution here. We go 3 wide. Colin Finland, we're 4 wide. There's got to be an accident here. Has to be. Andy Barber's hit, and that's it. Matt Dyer's going to win this race. Nigel Patton's going to get the lead. That is the end of the race right there. Matt Dyer, congratulations. Wade Sheedy second. Nigel Patton, by the skinniest of margins, gets third, unfortunately. It was always going to happen. They just needed to get 1 lap. That's all they wanted to do. Play nice for 1 lap. But they couldn't do it.
Big crash at the end. And quite a lot of cars out, but looks like that's the end of the race so far. We only have one group. How crazy is this?
I believe that's the point where the caution got called. That is where, look at Andy Barber's in the air backwards. So Andy Barber's going. So there's going to be the other problem here is going to be penalty points for a few cars. Might get penalties put on them as well. Because I'm seeing some shuffling. It's as if we haven't got... Oh, because we're still racing right now, technically. We've still got to go under yellow to finish this race.
Well, no, we're under caution now. So it's the final lap of the race, ticking down under caution. And we have Dyer in the lead. We have Wade Sheedy in second. We have Matt Patton in third, and then Adam Lyon in fourth. That looks like it's your finishing position here. They'll be getting ready to cross the finish line in just a second. But how crazy was the end of that race? And they were 4 wide. It was bound to happen, and that's what happened last season. But look who's left of the race. We have Dyer in the lead. We have Sheedy second, Patton third, Malone fourth, Donnelly fifth. And then we have Troy Mortensen in sixth, Gary Wellman, Christopher Tomlin, Jamie Nankovis. And then we have quite a big 7-second gap back to Aiden Schultz. So how crazy is that one? Something I didn't expect, something that we don't really hope to happen, but we always have a pretty big crash at the end, and unfortunately that happened and fell on the third last lap, where the race would be stopped if we went under caution.
Yeah, look, it is absolutely there you go, especially the race we had tonight. But let's celebrate. Look, Matt Dyer did a great job all night. He was up front all night, so it's a well-deserved win for him. Wade Sheedy had that bad call, or not bad call, he just had the bad luck with that caution where he went into pits and then the caution came out, put him almost a lap down, but he fought hard to get back on the lead lap, and he came back to be the leader. I think, is that Wade Sheedy pushing Jai Schultz home because he's got fuel problems? That very well could be.
Yeah, it is.
And look, Nigel Patton, I talked about how good his restarts were. He did get the great restart, but he was the recipient of other cars getting. Let's go back have a look. Actually, look at the big one before we get everyone in.
Yeah, why not jump at Andy Barber? Because I think that might have been a bit of the cause. I did see him get a bit wobbly. Maybe he got a tap from the back, or maybe he did it to himself. But we never know what happened. But look how destroyed the car is.
Yes, there's a lot of cars there that just don't look the best. Peter Jones has obviously been caught up with it just there. You can see.
I will say right now, before we ever look, Andy Barber, I'll give you $50 for the car.
Okay, so here we go. It's almost, let's go blimp to chopper. And let's go slow-mo here because Andy's at the front. These cars are so taily and dirty air. Colin Finland's in between two, and it's Sheedy gets the edge of Colin Finland's car. let's just quickly go back.
Actually, if we go back, look, we have Colin Finland trying to bump
5
draft
wide.
and Andy Barber too. It doesn't look like he's trying to go 5 wide, but if we go back a bit more and have a look at the slow mo, look, he's really trying to bump draft. Gave him a bump at the wrong time, wrong spot of the car, and that sent Andy Barber on quite a taily end to his race.
Yes, you are right, because he hasn't got him centre. You can see there he's got him just low of centre, which has sent him on a taily one, but then he's also, Collins just got down and just got Sheedy, which is then, so I reckon Barber's got control of it at that stage. He's lost momentum, but he's got control of it, but then Sheedy's got into Barber, Barber's got into Gilles got into Schultz, because Schultz is on the brakes already. Nigel, you see Nigel Patton, the third place person there, gets right down low straight away, along with Adam Malone. They aren't going to have any part of this. They know.
Andy Barber. There we go. The rubber digs in too, and you can see Andy Barber up in the air still. The tires smoking, and then boom, gets hit again. And now he's facing backwards. He's looking at the field, saying hello, giving them a bit of a wave. And then look, the car's starting to go upside down. Boot rips off the car. He's now completely upside down. And then boom, car 21 hits him, and then sends him in a big roll.
So you can see. Let's have a look at it live, okay? Hold on, live. There's the bump from Colin. There's the bump from Sheedy, and then this is what you're talking about. He's in the air. Our camera gyro's doing a great job staying still.
Not to mention Andy Barber's in VR, so he'll be closing his eyes too.
Poor guy's just vomited.
Yeah.
Go help him out, mate.
Yeah, Dad and I run in the same. Andy and I run in the same rig occasionally, and let me tell you, my eyes would be shut and I'd be praying.
So that's it. Look, that's a race. That's the big one. We got multiple big ones tonight. Talladega did deliver in that respect. Let's quickly go through the end results because that's what we need to do before we start getting these people up into the box, because they're ready to go. Matt Dyer and Wade Sheedy are there already. We just need Nigel to get in there, and then we can do it. But Matt Dyer wins. Wade Sheedy second, 0.2 of a second. Nigel Patton third. All these times are out because we crossed under yellow flag. Adam Malone fourth. Cade Donnelly fifth. Troy Mortensen sixth. Gary Wellman seventh. Jamie Nankervis eighth. Aiden Schultz ninth. Ash Nessa 10th. None of our championship hopefuls are in that top 10. Sebastian Vandel in 11th, Christopher Tomlin in 12th, Colin Finland in 13th, Alan Gill in 14th, 15th is Jai Schultz, 16th is Raymond Yeager, the first of our top 3 in the championship. Tom Pritchard in 17th, Ruben Phelps 18th, Andy Barber 19th after leading the race just before the yellow flag. Peter Jones in 20th after leading the race at multiple times and having a really good pace there for a while. Tim Blundell 21st, Noddy Tompkins 22nd, Stevie Hoppett 23rd, Michael Berner 24th, Justin Witcher 25th. Shannon Blackburn did a really good job of coming back considering where he was from the start. 26th, Troy Davison, another great job considering. 27th, Craig Roffey 28th, Peter Gretton 29th, Stuart Anderson 30th. And then there's multiple laps down for Hot Toddy himself in 31st, Peter Matson in 23rd, 32nd, 33rd Dwayne Priest, Kim Roffey 34th, Warwick Sharp 35th, Stephen Hall 36th, Nick Smith 37th, Philip Howe 38th, Nicholas Walsh 39th, Evan Horswool in 40th, Aaron Dillon in 41st after that really early accident, and Brett Campbell with a problem with his actual rig at home in 42nd, 85 laps down, because remember we did multiple laps under safety car and a green-white checker. That's why it's more than 80. But let's go. Let me tee this up somehow. Let's just go to a random lap. Let's go around there. Let's go to who we got. We've got Nigel Patton is in there, so let's bring him up to there. Sorry about this, everyone. Let us go. Where's zoom in? We don't have a zoom in. Zoomed in there. And let us go real slow-mo. Chat in booth. And Nigel Patton, congratulations on getting the podium in third place, mate. Take us through it.
Thanks, Wilco. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, pretty Pretty typical super speedway, chaotic to right to the end.
So, right to the end, we saw the point where you were, when the caution was thrown, you were probably millimeters ahead of Adam Malone. Did you realize how close it was, and did you throw a little cheer when the yellow went at that stage, or were you upset?
It was a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Quite happy after I saw I was third because I knew it was pretty much done. But would have liked to seen it go green to the end and see where we could have finished. So, but yeah, no, pretty good.
If you watch the replay back at some stage or the broadcast back at some stage, you're one of the 45 people I predicted that could have got it at the end there. Um, you had pace in those last couple of laps. You had good restarts. You were able to read the draft situation really well. How confident were you going into that green white checker?
I was a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. Thought I could get myself. I had to get up the top. I couldn't stay down low. We'd pretty much worked it out. We had to get to that middle or top line, preferably, and see if we can get our way around it. And I was just lucky enough to get through.
That is it. So most of the night you guys sat, as you do, mid-pack. Pretty happy with that. What's it like running with Jaeger and Witcher being that third wheel and getting it over him tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty good having Justin and Raymond as your teammates. They're always talking about strategies and stuff, and Justin's very good on the fuel strategy, and so it's really good to sit back and just go along with them and help them out where I can.
That green flag stop about lap 30 odd or something along those lines. It seemed he was too good, if that's fair to say. He jumped out about 2 or 3 seconds ahead of you guys and left you a little bit behind, so he wasn't running the pack. Did you yell at him for being too good at that stage and not playing team fair?
No, he was yelling at us for being shit. Yeah, because we put a bit too much fuel in our car, so we could have probably took about 3 or 4 gallons less than what we did. So
look,
he had it just right because he's in liters. He runs metric, and Raymond and I are in gallons. So
that's okay. Look, you're on the podium. He's not. That's the main thing. How's your season gone in your eyes so far?
Not too bad. Up and down most of the way. I can't race every week. I miss a few weeks through work and that, so I'm just sort of there to help the team, help Justin and Ray out, and Greg when he can run. So that's sort of my job. But happy when I have some good results, but we'll just see how it goes.
What are you looking forward to in the weeks ahead? Because we're over Super Speedway tonight. Finally, we go to Pocono next week, Michigan and Nashville. Is any of those just jumping out at you that a potential big night for you?
I'm not a huge fan of Pocono, but Michigan and Nashville I quite like, so I'll certainly be looking forward to those. But Pocono can be a sort of a hit and a miss sometimes.
Yeah, look, I've asked this to a few people, and Pocono's always that one. It's very divisive. It's very either love it or hate it. And I can't wait to get there and watch it next week. Who do you want to thank, and who do you want to shout out before I got one last question for you?
Just shout out to the team, the boys at Pinnacle Esports, Justin, Raymond, Greg, Matt, and our sponsors, Edge Setup Shop, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank you very much. And all the sponsors of the league, My Private Sellers and all them, United Electrical Solutions, Hot Toddies, and Witcher Electrical. So thanks very much.
Excellent. So the final question I got for you, as a part of the team where Justin Witcher and Raymond Jaeger are the front runners and Greg Spencer's always in and thereabouts, how important is the team championship from your eyes? Someone who's just there to help out, as you mentioned before.
That's basically what I'm really setting my sights to help the boys out with. So, like I said, I can't, just because I've missed so many weeks through work, I'm never going to run up the front of the championship. So the team championship was certainly a great addition to the league as far as I'm concerned, even though Greg didn't want it. But we've got it in there. And but yeah, it's just another element for blokes and a few guys that might be down the back of the field that can't race every week, but they get a chance to put their case forward, and as a team, they can have a real red hot crack at it.
Excellent. Well, congratulations tonight on getting third. Very good job to finally get to have a chat with you in the booth, and we'll talk to you again hopefully soon.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
that brings us to the man who almost got there and almost went a lap down at one stage. Wade Sheedy, congratulations on getting second tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. A bit of a tough race, that's for sure.
It definitely was. So I'll go to that point I mentioned just a second ago. You did green flag stopping. You and Jai Schultz went in together. You came out just ahead. He came out just behind. He went a lap down. You didn't. Well, technically, he didn't go a lap down, but he got stuck behind the pace car. How important was that stop for you in the end of the race?
Oh, I just got lucky with a lucky dog, to be honest.
It was Lucky Dog, was it?
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah, I got
okay.
the lucky dog and got around, so managed to duck in and get a little bit more fuel, which was good. And yeah, Jai was obviously waiting for another yellow to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that and that sort of hampered his race because he went a long way back at that stage. Were you pushing him for fuel at the end of the race after the race had finished?
Oh, you got to look after your teammates, yeah.
I did pick that one up. It's on the broadcast. Look, well done, mate. Take us through the race from your eyes on how it went.
It was messy. I didn't know where everyone was going a lot of the time, to be honest. There was, I think, the second pit stop. I come out of the pits and there was no one around me, and next thing you know, Matt come past me. So we sort of worked together and caught onto a bit of a pack after they pitted, which was quite lucky.
I focused on that during the broadcast a little bit. You guys seem to have the pace working together as just the two. You're actually holding the pack behind you. And I thought you were in a really good position. It was just those last stoppers that came out, unfortunately, jumped in ahead of you. But how important, you got onto the back of that group. Did you think you had a really good chance when you got that little bit of a boost?
Yes and no. Being in the pack like that, especially going three wide, it was a bit hard to judge who was trying to get a run, who was just going to sit there and hold a spot. You just didn't know what people were going to do. So, yeah, it was a bit tricky.
So we had before the final couple of cautions happened, and we were getting very excited because you're in the front pack, and the pack behind was gaining you at roughly a speed that would have got them there with a lap to go. We figured, or maybe even a little bit sooner than that. Is that something you're watching? Are you watching that backpack and trying to work out how quickly they're catching up, or you're just I think it was 10 laps to go? Are you just focusing on doing the best you can up front and not crashing?
More focusing on what I'm doing. If I'm not looking at what I'm doing, there's more chance I can have a bit of an incident. So if they caught up, good on them. They can have a bit of a crack themselves. But yeah, you got to be onto it, especially if you're going three wide in some of these spots. Sometimes four wide.
Yeah, we saw 5 wide was almost the cause of that last caution. We asked Nigel the same question. How did it feel when that final caution got thrown and you're in second? Was it relief? Was it excitement? Or was it a little bit of disappointment because you sort of don't get that last chance?
A little bit of disappointment. Would have liked to finish on green flag running, have a crack at the win, but still second's better than getting unlucky and having a bit of a wreck like some of the other guys done. So you got to take that when you can.
So, look, congratulations for you and Platinum Racing. It's a very good result for you guys. You've been there and thereabouts for a while now, so it's good to see you get into the podium here. Who do you want to thank and who do you want to shout out?
Matt for working together and getting back to where we needed to be. Jai, you done an awesome job tonight. It's just been unfortunate for him. Pilbara Gaming Hub, Phones and Stuff, Tom Price, Kookaburras Cafe and LR Esports. It's one of the sponsors on our car as well. So thanks for that, guys.
Well, congratulations, Wade Sheedy, and we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the season. How much of a fan are you of Pocono?
I don't know if I've actually been there, maybe once or twice. So just rock up and see how I go, I guess.
Good fun next week. Anyway, congratulations again, and we'll talk to you sometime in the future, I'm sure.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
And then that brings us to the man who just took it away tonight and was at the front most of the night, so did a really good job. Matt Dyer, welcome to the booth and congratulations on winning the race.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Take us through it. Did you have any strategy going tonight, or was it just Talladega, let's just hold on and see what happens? Or we just at the front, let's just go?
I was kind of hoping to stay up, towards the front, and just kind of just stay there. I didn't want to drop too far back. Yeah, like that was really the goal, was just to stay up front. And it worked, pretty much the whole time. So I got a little bit lucky with coming out with Wade there, that last green flag pit stops. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mentioned that you guys were working really well together. Wade was basically pushing you all the way around, and I think Wade was behind you when you came out. Either way, you guys were matching the pace of the group behind you, which was a fairly large pack. How important was that section of the race for you?
It was pretty good. Like, we didn't want to lose too much time because we knew those people that were staying out a lot longer were going to have a lot shorter pit stop, and essentially they came out exactly with us. But catching those cars in front of us were pretty good. I leaned on my NASCAR knowledge, with being able to take a bump and understanding how a Dega works. So it all worked out.
Where does Talladega sit on your scale of racetracks? Is it one of those favourite ones for you?
I'm definitely more of a road course guy, but I'm typically pretty good at the super speedway races, so I would say it's pretty high.
What do you think of driving V8s around a super speedway? How much of a different beast is that?
It's pretty fun. It's actually funny, when I posted that I was joining this league in my other team channel. Matt Knight actually told me that he was the one of the original founders of this, so it was pretty cool to make it full circle.
Yeah, definitely. This series has grown and grown. It's definitely been through some ups and downs over the time, and some different people doing it and all that stuff. So, welcome to the league. Anyway, it's a great way to great race for you tonight. I've asked the other guys the same question, but that that caution flag goes under green, white, checker. You win the race. Any little bit of disappointment there? You couldn't win it crossing the checkered flag, or you just happy to get that win?
It is a little bit disappointing, but I mean, I'm not upset with the result. I kind of was, when it happened, when I saw three people to my outside, I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna start falling back. But it all worked out for me.
It definitely did. You've done a really good job tonight. Congratulations, mate. Who do you want to thank, and who the sponsors you want to shout out?
First is thank you guys for broadcasting it. Shout out to Thin Line Racing, your Red Rhino Construction, Raise Energy, and it was everyone who took part in this, and especially to the admins.
Excellent. Are we going to see you for the rest of the season?
I'm definitely going to try. It's super early over here on the West Coast in the U.S., so if I can wake up in time, I will definitely be here.
Well, set that alarm, mate. We really do want to see you come back. Where's Pocono sit for you in highs and lows on tracks?
Basing it off my NASCAR knowledge, I'm pretty good there. I've never done it in the V8 cars, so it will be an interesting and fun learning experience.
What could go wrong? Well, congratulations, Matt. I hope to talk to you again soon, because you definitely had some skills out there tonight. And look forward to seeing you again soon if that alarm goes off.
All right, thank you.
That is it, Ryan. We got through a race at Talladega with about, I don't know how many cautions it was. It wasn't the exact result we wanted. Not the result. It wasn't the way we wanted to get the result, unfortunately. But what did you think? How do you want to wrap up this race?
Started off pretty decent, actually. We did have issues with the other server, so it was pretty bunched up. Some of the slower guys were up the front, some of the faster guys were at the back and the middle, and it was kind of just mixed up at the start. But early caution took out the championship leader. That was a big incident for the championship. That's really going to damage him. If he ended up coming quite low to the bottom. Troy Davison, if I'm correct.
27th.
P27. So managed to bring it back around close to the midfield too. So that was good. And then we did have a couple of cautions at the end. Quite a few cars out. At the end, we only had about 20 cars on the lead lap too. So half the field pretty smashed out. But apart from that, pretty good racing, side-by-side action. That's what super speedways always bring. That's what I enjoy about them. And yeah, not the end we wanted. Matt did say that it was a little bit disappointing that it did finish that way. But yeah, from a racing point of view, it was a good race. From a finishing point of view, I reckon it would have been a bit nicer to finish under the checkered flag rather than the caution.
Yeah, definitely. There was obviously, I'm just going through the Facebook comments I missed. Aaron Dillon mentioning if they had have qualified, started where they qualified, half the team would still be in the race. Look, that was a major issue at the start of the race. Unfortunately, when you're doing it the way they're doing it, mistakes do happen. And yeah, Raymond Yeager made a mistake and didn't quite put the qualifying in. We had to do the random start, unfortunate. But yeah, Brett Campbell believes Andy probably was sick in his VR as well. So you have to give us feedback on that next week if he definitely was. But that
And I can
is
definitely let you know that too. Yeah, crazy. VR, he would have had to close his eyes or that, ride on a roller coaster. So, yeah, overall, I enjoyed that race. It was a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Very good race. Congratulations to the podium getters. Cade Donnelly sneaking in there for fifth was a really good effort. Jamie Nankervis, from where he was and the incidents he has to come eighth, that was a good job. Aiden Schultz, a bit unfortunate there. He was really in for a battle there at the end. Sebastian Vardell did really good. But yeah, really good job. Let's look forward to the weeks ahead. Next week, as I've mentioned a couple of times tonight, Pocono, the Tri-Oval is going to be a nightmare for some. It's going to be very interesting racing. Michigan, Nashville, Chicagoland, then Atlanta, Daytona, Charlotte, and California to round out the season. So big stuff ahead. Thank you to everyone who's been watching us. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting us. It's been really good fun, and we will be back next week for Pocono Raceway. Thank you, Ryan, and we'll talk to you all next week.